All right, so like I said, we're going to get into the whole money scheming behind BP, bilking the American people out of more and more money that doesn't even need to be given because BP is already paying for it. Okay, we're going to get into amnesty. Okay, Barack Obama, amnesty for all the illegals all of a sudden now through an executive order. We're going to get into this whole Sharia law situation. I got some articles on that. It's going to blow your mind. Okay, I mean, Christians being arrested left and right. We got, listen, it's just, whew, I don't know, man. This is quickly turning into the America that I do not know and recognize. It really is. All right. So, we got the 5 American Muslims convicted of terrorism in Pakistan. Yeah, that's always nice. And now, I love this. This was another example of how the news can be totally biased. I know you guys on the camera can't see this unless I hold it really close up. Okay? But judges tiles to oil question. Now, remember Barack Obama, I'm sorry, that's so rude, I'm sorry. Barack Hussein Obama, okay, Barack Hussein Obama. Remember the kids that were chanting in the schools, you know, Barack Hussein Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Remember they were just chanting and chanting this guy's name like, oh, King Hussein, you know. Remember that? That was some creepy stuff. And, well, anyway, so Barack Hussein Obama had put the 6-month moratorium on oil drilling, which he had no legal grounds to do, and a federal judge overturned it and said, you misled the people. You misled us. There's no reason. And it was explained this way. If one airplane crashes, you don't ground the whole fleet, just in case. Right? You don't ground the whole fleet, just in case. You know? So Barack Obama, there's this one oil well situation, and now he's going to ban all the other 33 oil wells from moving forward and put a 6-month ban on offshore drilling. I mean, what... If that wasn't just a, what's the word I'm looking for, a good excuse to use this crisis, remember, don't ever let a crisis go to waste, Rahm Emanuel. There's an excuse. He used the BP crisis as a reason to block offshore drilling because I believe Barack Hussein Obama wants us reliant and dependent on foreign oil. I believe that. I really do. I'm sorry, but I think that's what he wants. I don't think he wants us to be energy independent. Oh, he says he does with the whole green initiatives and all that kind of crazy stuff. But I think it's a BS. I really do. Now, the whole green initiative stuff fits right into his cap and trade bill, which if that's passed will bilk the economy of even more money, which I think he likes, because I do believe Barack Hussein Obama is trying to bankrupt this country. I've said that 1,000,000 times. I'll say it 1,000,000 more. I do believe his goal is to bankrupt this country. I think that he wants us to have to be bailed out by the European Union. I think that he wants Mexico and America and Canada to become the North American Union. I do believe that. I don't believe for a minute that this guy and this administration's plans and goals are good for this country. I'm sorry, I really don't. So, anyway, the first thing that happened after this judge comes out and blocks this moratorium, a federal judge Tuesday struck down President Obama's 6-month ban on new deepwater drilling, siding with oil companies that argued it would harm their businesses, eliminate jobs, and weaken the economies of Gulf Coast states. Yeah, that's what Obama wants. You think he doesn't know that it would hurt the economy? Do you think he doesn't know it would shut down more businesses and cause unemployment rates to go even higher? He knows this, and he does not care, and that frankly pisses me off. That just fires me up. He does not care that it's going to hurt this country. Because like I said, Hussein Obama's motives are not pure. They're not good for this country. So the first thing that happens, of course, is It says, while the White House said it would immediately appeal the decision, environmental groups publicized U.S. District Court Judge Martin Feldman's financial disclosure forms that showed the New Orleans judge has owned shares in oil and gas firms. So again, here's the idea. This guy overturned Obama's thing, not because it was wrong, but because he sides with oil companies, because he owns shares. Yeah, he wants to make more money and more profits. So that's why he sided with the oil companies. So it was a personal thing. It had nothing to do with the fact that it could be wrong and that Obama had no right to do it. So these environmental wackos, the first thing they do is judge the judge's motives, and say it couldn't be because it was wrong, it has to be because he has ties. Well, it's funny because deep inside this article, here's the thing. It says he once had owned shares. And it says Feldman's 2008 disclosures noted up to $15,000 in Transocean, owner of the ill-fated Deepwater Horizon rig. In 2008, he dumped it. He got rid of those shares years ago. He doesn't benefit or profit from that anymore. But, again, the lies that come out to us in the media are to make you think that Obama's right. Obama can't be wrong. No! Obama! He can't be wrong. He's Mr. Obama. It's sick how the public, constitutionally supported media backs this guy and feeds into the lies. When the truth, which we show here on the Midnight Runner radio show, the truth is it was illegal. He had no precedence to put the moratorium on the drilling. And thank God a federal judge noticed it and stood up and said, "What? You can't do this." Thank God for that. Mr. Hussein Obama is getting blowback. He's getting pushback. Can you imagine that? Whew. Telling you. It's incredible. I don't know what happened to Daniela. She was in the show. She was out of the show. She was in the show. Now she's out of the show. She might be watching via Ustream. If you are, Daniela, what's up? DOCDLB is still in the chat room. No one else is in the chat room at blogtalkradio.com/midnightrunner. Not sure why that is. So, archive numbers on the show were okay for last week. Not true. So, the jury is still out on if the Saturday morning time is working. Thursday nights was dropping off like Obama's poll numbers, which, by the way, his poll numbers, ooh, man, 46% of Americans approve of his job approval rating right now. 46%. 46. Under 50%. And it keeps going down. It's going down. That's the truth. I tell you. I don't know if that's like my ratings on this show. I'm telling you something. We are going to take a break in a couple of minutes, and then we're going to get into this. Oh, there's Daniela. She's back. We're going to go to the bottom of the hour break, and for those on Ustream, you will not hear the commercial break, so you'll have silence for a few minutes, and then I'll be right back on in a couple of minutes. When we get back, we're going to dive into this whole amnesty thing. We're going to dive into, after the top of the hour, we're going to dive into the Sharia law situation. Things are getting out of control out there. And if you don't know where you stand and you don't have a solid foundation, you're going to go down. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Stick with us. This is the Midnight Runner Radio Show with your host, Christopher Knight. In just a few moments. We'll be right back.